Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Ask Lukenessmonster, episode 38, the series on the channel where I answer your guys' questions from the comments down below. So if you guys do want your questions answered in next week's video, comment down below in this week's video and I'll try my very best to answer it. And before you get into that first question, if you would, go down and hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, because it does really help me out a lot. And we are also doing another giveaway on the channel. We do this, different milestones on the channel, and we will be doing one at 2,500 subs. We are a little ways away, and I'm not really sure what we're giving away yet, but make sure you do hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Anyway, on to the first question. NRG asks, should there be a deluxe Jango Fett with a broken jetpack and Geonosian Arena monster? So I do like the idea of like a deluxe Jango Fett, kind of like the deluxe Boba Fett we got like right here. So I think that would be really cool to get. Like mashed in with a Geonosian monster or a arena monster. I think it's a cool idea, but I think that would be like not really a deluxe set, more of like a vehicle pack. And I think if we did get that, I think it'd be really cool to get this guy on screen right now. I'm not sure the name of it, but I think if you get him with maybe like a Anakin, Obi-Wan, and a Padme, that'd be really cool. Like animal pack. And if you can only throw in one character, I think at least in episode 2 Anakin would be pretty cool to like ride that thing. Hamish asks, great video as always, thank you, I do really appreciate that. Question, do you think Hasbro will make more 6-inch action figures than 3 3/4-inch figures? I mean like more than 3 3/4-inch figures ever produced. And so that is a really interesting question, and I'm going to say no. And that's because, of course, Black Series only started, I guess, 8 years ago now in 2013, and they just now started making a lot of figures a year. Before like 2019, 2020, there wasn't that many figures in a year. There's probably like, I don't know, 10 or no, more like 16 or so figures, new figures a year, where I believe like 2019, 2020, it got like upward of 50, 60 figures in a year, which is really insane. So, but just that number is really good, but compared to the amount of 3 3/4-inch figures we have tons of those from like every single movie ever made. You gotta count like the original like vintage characters as figures from like Saga Legends. There's so many just random different 3 3/4-inch themes. Power of the Force, those count as 3 3/4-inch. So figure all those matched together are like hundreds upon thousands of figures, and I don't think Black Series is going to come anywhere close anytime soon. Kylo Dog asks, do you think they will re-release Force Awakens figures with face printing in the fan channel line? So I think this is a really great idea. If you didn't know what that was, basically they kind of like re-release figures with updated face printing, kind of like the Rebels line here that was kind of released like mid 2020 there. And honestly, I think this is a great idea. I think the Force Awakens figures are figures that are in like really dire need of face printing updates, and I really hope they do this. I think it's a great idea to do it, but as of right now, there's no confirmation they do that. I know there is a rumor that they'll be doing Rogue One this year, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon. Only because they're doing Rogue One because it's the 5th anniversary of Rogue One. So if they're gonna do Force Awakens, they might have done it last year for the 5th anniversary of Force Awakens, but they didn't. So it's just a really like weird time period, and I guess they could throw it in at any time they wanted to, but it's just like a weird timing to do that. Jay Prasad asks, would you survive Order 66 if you were a Jedi? Okay, scenario. I'm a Jedi in the Jedi Temple, right? You know, Anakin's clones, 501st, walk into the Jedi room. Alright, backflip, snap their neck, run out the door, get into a speeder, fly away, hide on Coruscant until, the Jedi, the clones leave the temple. I go back in, steal clone armor, pretend to be a clone in the clone army until eventually all the clones get, like off duty for they pretty much get replaced by stormtroopers. Then I hide away as a ex-clone for the rest of my life. Now the question is, would this actually work? I doubt it, because I would be taking 501st armor, meaning I'd be part of course, like Anakin's battalion, and of course Darth Vader would sense another Jedi there, so that would probably not work, but that's what I would try to do. Jacob asks, question 1, will you actually ever do a face reveal? Question 2, what are your thoughts on Gina Cargio, I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm really sorry if I did, being fired from Mandalorian? So I'm not going to answer the second one, only because it's kind of a controversial topic, and I don't really want to get into politics like that. So for question 1 though, I will eventually. Just as of right now, there's no need in the content that I make to do a face reveal. And like, of course it's nice for the fans and everything, but it's just not really needed, and I'd like to keep my privacy until I 100% have to give it up. So Yeah, whenever my content actually requires it, I will do a face reveal, but until then, I probably won't. Nicholas asks, what is your favorite con exclusive figure? So 100% has to be the Kenner Boba Fett from San Diego Comic-Con 2019. This guy is so cool. I really wish I could have got this guy. He's so expensive on the aftermarket though, like upwards of $200 or $300. It's really insane. I do hope they do like a re-release of this eventually, but they probably won't. It's a Comic-Con exclusive, so I doubt it's gonna happen. But it'd be super nice to get this. But on the bright side, I know there was the San Diego Comic-Con Han Solo and Carbonite that got a re-release. There was also the convention exclusive Han and Leia 2-pack that got a Target release. So you never know, this might get a re-release, but as of right now we don't really know. Vernal Hippo asks, what is your favorite Rebel from the Phoenix crew and figure? So I only own Kanan, is the only Rebels figure I own, but from the Phoenix crew itself, like as characters, I'd have to go Sabine. I just think her like Mandalore arc there in Rebels was really, really nice, and her like getting to wield the Darksaber. I don't like how she just gave it to Bo-Katan like that. She didn't like lose it in battle. That would have been nice. I really like wish she lost to Bo-Katan or lost it some other way. Maybe lost it to Gar Saxon and then Bo-Katan beats Gar Saxon. But like I don't think that she should have just given it up. But other than that, I thought her storyline was there. It's really cool. So probably Sabine would be my favorite character. And I am trying to get her figure. So Ben asks, do you think Hasbro will ever include multiple heads for Black Series figures like Marvel Legends do? For example, if they did an angry Boba Fett face and a calm one. So I think this is a great idea, and I really do hope they do it in the future. But I know they have in a few figures. I know like the Palpatine like and Chair 2-pack, whatever, they included like 2 extra heads, which is great. But it's one of those things where like most figures don't need an extra head. Why I think it'd be a great thing to include. They're not really needed, so I see why they don't do it. But I think like I know with the Hoth Rebel Trooper they included a separate face to do like a like to make it a whole different person, which is a great idea, great for customability and for like army building. So I hope they do that with more different Rebel Troopers like that. But for multiple heads for actual named characters, I doubt they would do. Zach asks, will you ever do a Black Series collection video, and how many episodes do you plan on making of the Diorama series? So for the first question, I actually already have a collection review out, probably like beginning of January is when it came out. So I'll link that in the description and pin it in the card right now if you do want to see that. And for the Diorama series, if you didn't know, I'm making Emperor Palpatine's like throne room as a diorama for the Black Series. And probably 4 or 5 episodes, I don't know. I do plan on releasing them weekly, but I know like this week I didn't upload it on Saturdays when I uploaded last week's one, and I'm just trying to get it uploaded whenever I have time. It's one of those things where I'm uploading videos almost every single day of the week, and it's hard to find time to actually work on this diorama. So I'm going to release it when I have time to release it, so it might not end up being a weekly thing, but I do really want to get that done, and it'll probably end up being around 4 or 5 episodes. The next question asks, long question, but he's basically asking if I've seen the Centerpiece Sets from the Black Series. So I have seen these, and I love the like display bases for these, but the things I don't like is the actual like statues of the figure themselves. I'd much prefer them sell like the bases as stands individually rather than the statue on it, because of course it looks good with other figures next to it, but I'd prefer the figure with actual articulation and everything like that. So if they sold just like display like bases or diorama like pieces like that, that'd be great. But instead they have to include the like statue thing and like raise up the price. It's just not anything I'm really into. I just mainly prefer the base itself. Anakin Skywalker asks, question, what are different lines of Black Series you would create if you were in charge of Hasbro? Like the one I asked with about like customizable Jedi figures. So I don't know if I'd create a whole lot like new lines. I think that like the movie lines that have got going right now would be really great, but I think throwing in more deluxe figures like that into the movie lines would be great, like a customizable 501st clone in the Revenge of the Sith line, or the Clone Wars line, or maybe a customizable Jedi in like the Attack of the Clones line. That'd be great, something I'd love to do. Maybe like another thing I would kind of not add but bring back would be the vehicle line, because I really like the Black Series vehicles and stuff like that, and I think it'd be really cool to bring back some more of those and release some different ones, because there's so many I think they could make, and it'd be great to see more of them in the Black Series. Gilberto asks, I know you want a Sideshow 5s, but will you get the Hot Toys Rex in case if they make a Hot Toys 5s? So that's a great question. I might actually. I know the Hot Toys 5s just came out, and I'm sure I can go get one for like pretty close to retail price if I wanted to. And the only problem with that is by the time they actually made a sideshow or a Hot Toys 5s, Rex would probably be pretty expensive. So I guess it just depends on the price of him on the aftermarket after 5s comes out. So if they do make a 5, I'm 100% buying 5s, no question about it. It just depends how expensive Rex is, determines if I buy him or not. Nick asks, what is your favorite Mandalorian? So I'm assuming Boba Fett doesn't count, and I'm not going to count Jango Fett either. But for Mandalorian, I'd probably just say normal Mando. I know it's a pretty generic answer, but I guess Din Djarin is what you can call him. I just like his character a lot. The Mandalorian TV show is great. Other than that, there's not a whole lot I could think of. Like maybe Sabine, like I said earlier. There's not a lot of like super named Mandalorian characters. Oh, I do have to say, now thinking about it, Pal Vizsla, Pre-Vizsla, whatever his name is. I don't care what his name is. Pre-Vizsla, great character. I love his character. He's so cool. Has the Darksaber and everything with a nice looking armor. I think it's Pre-Vizsla's his name. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong before. But yeah, I think he's a super cool Mandalorian, and I'd love to get a Black Series figure of him eventually. No Puma asks, hey dude, just wanted to ask, what all Black Series troopers do you recommend? Been looking to choose one to put on my shelf since I'm not a completionist. So I do have to say the Black Series Shadow Stormtrooper and the Stormtrooper Commander from the Gaming Greats lines are two great like trooper figures. Highly recommend them because they are definitely some of the best ones in the Gaming Greats line. And yeah, definitely highly recommend those if you did want them at all. Because yeah, if you are looking for troopers, those are some of the best. Ed asks, what is the best site for new collectors to order figures from? 6-inch Black Series. So there's so many different ones. I'd say if you want like reliable sources, go to like definitely like Hasbro Pulse, of course, has got to be a main one, but also go to like GameStop. Target and Walmart are not really reliable. I mean, they're okay if you can find, they're good to find older figures on sale, but they also like sell other people's stuff on their website, which is awful because you'll get ripped off on prices and stuff. Amazon, again, is alright, but they sell other people's stuff, which you get ripped off on prices. So you can find some decent deals on them, but only get them if they're sold by Amazon themselves, or you can get a pretty good price on it. So for buying figures straight up, Dorkside, Entertainment Earth, like Big Bad Toy Store, all those are great for buying figures just straight up. But if you're pre-ordering for them, I would say don't pre-order from them unless you missed the pre-order from other websites, only because their pre-orders say they'll ship in March and then they won't ship until like June. They always like overestimate for when they'll pre-order, or the pre-orders will ship. So then you're like, well, my pre-order was supposed to ship 3 months ago. Where is it? It's just how it always works. It gets really disappointing that your pre-order isn't shipped yet, and you never know when you're actually going to get it. So I'd say don't pre-order from them, but buying figures is great because they always ship pretty fast and they pack them really nice in the box. So. The next question from Naomi, he asks, do you think Archive Wave 5 rumors / predictions are true? So, yeah, actually I do. If you didn't know, the predictions are a New Hope Leia, a Revenge of the Sith Anakin, or I'm sorry, Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, a 501st Trooper, and a Darth Revan. I think all of those are great figures for it. I don't know about the Leia. I think that one definitely needs a face update, but is it worth an archive re-release? I don't know. But the other three are great. They all need re-releases. They're all rather expensive on the aftermarket. So I think, yes, they definitely do need a re-release, and I think the predictions are true. I don't see any reason why not, or why they shouldn't be true. The only problem is I think Obi-Wan, he has a pretty bad sculpt, so I think I'd rather get just like a remake of him rather than a re-release, just because his old sculpt is awful. But yeah, I think the predictions are true. And then the last question from my Discord, they ask, what are your thoughts on people buying custom figures for the prices of Hot Toys figures? So I think it's a great question. I definitely see like people selling different custom figures and stuff for like $200-300, and it's kind of insane. And I think if it's a good quality figure, like Hasbro quality figure, maybe if you're willing to spend that much for it. But it's just one of those things. It's probably not worth it. You can just get like a different figure and paint it yourself, and it probably won't be as good a quality, but it'll save you a lot more money rather than paying $200 or $300 for a custom figure. And I definitely see some like that are just awful customs that look like a 3-year-old with a crayon painted it, and it just looks awful, and they're charging like $80 to $100 for these things, and it's like, what do you mean it looks awful? It doesn't even look like a clone trooper. So I don't know, some of those are alright, but other ones are just like, why would I ever pay that much for that? Anyway guys, that is going to do it for the video. If you did enjoy, the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and yeah, definitely follow my Discord, link in the description, and I also have an Instagram if you do want to follow that. link is also in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.